y'all want to know why President Trump is pissed, listen to this. This is Leonard Bernardo, who is the senior vice president at the Open Society Foundation. The Open Society Foundation is this guy, George Soros. Soros has a son, Alex Soros, who just married Huma Abedin, who used to be like Hillary Clinton's right-hand man. Her ex-husband is Anthony Weiner. Anthony Weiner has a laptop that the F supposedly had, and that's where like a lot of these conspiracies start. But today, Leonard's emails were declassified. Julie says it will be a long-term affair to demonize Putin and Trump, talking about the rogues. Later, the FBI will put more oil into the fire. Where James Comey comes in. James Comey was the director at the time. Everyone thought that he was going to prosecute Hillary for her whole email scandal, and he just gaslit us and then just said, nope, nothing to see here, folks. Hillary is hardly good looking as far as credibility is concerned. Anyway, things are ghastly for U.S. relations. So these people were willing to risk World War III in order for Trump not to be president.
If no one is prosecuted for this, then I expect that I can do whatever.
George Soros, a name guaranteed to spark fireworks in any political conversation. To some, he's the grand puppet master tugging at the strings of world affairs. And now, his notorious Open Society Foundation is back in the spotlight, smack in the middle of another political firestorm. The latest controversy. Leonard Bernardo, the foundation's senior vice president, finds himself in the hot seat after a batch of his emails went public. The leaked messages allegedly outline a long-game strategy to vilify figures like Trump and Putin. Tying neatly into the ever-contentious Russian collusion narrative, it's less breaking news and more like the third act twist in a political thriller. Except this one raises real questions about how much we can trust the systems we live under. And of course, it wouldn't be a proper Washington drama without familiar cameos, former FBI Director James Comey, the Obama administration, and even echoes of Hillary's infamous email scandal all allegedly make appearances in this tangled web of intrigue.
Why ain't nobody on the news outlet saying that Obama is innocent? Why ain't none of the Democrats on the news outlet saying Obama is innocent? I ain't seen not one Democrat say Obama's not guilty that they accusing him of. I ain't seen none of that book. When I see Democrats saying, I see you saying he got immunity. The fact that y'all saying this man got immunity, that let me know he did it, and that let me know y'all know he did it, and that let me know the only thing y'all can say is he got immunity. That means it don't matter. It don't even matter if y'all know he did it because he got immunity. That's the craziest world. Y'all know the mug wrong. Y'all won't even see this is one thing about it. Conservatives, even when we feel like Trump wrong about that, we call this out about that bit. We call even if we don't know the whole chess move, we don't know it, but we call it out until we get some more answers. Y'all ain't even calling Obama out. Y'all sovereign leader. Y'all ain't even calling Obama out. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Y'all just saying he got immunity. That let me know y'all know this goddamn guilt and accused of. That let me know he goddamn like, but I don't even want to say the T word. I don't even want to say the T word that rhyme with ant. I don't want to say it, but y'all know he wrong. Y'all need to hold this accountable. But y'all say conservatives is cult behavior. Now you got cult behavior because y'all won't hold y'all own accountable. We hold him up and Trump accountable. We steady gonna.
Well, that's jet.
You can't help but wonder just how far this rabbit hole really goes. In the middle of it all, accountability feels like a ghost, always hinted at, never actually seen, leaving us to question whether justice is even on the guest list.
See Nate Silver, Michigan. I would like to take exception to this analogy because this has really obsessed me while I was off this month because Tulsi Gabbard is going after the Democrats. She says Obama is a traitor, basically, who tried to pull off a coup. That's rich. She said President Obama and his national security cabinet members manufactured and politicized intelligence to lay the groundwork for what was essentially a years-long coup. It's the I know you are, what am I? Defense. But, you know, it has astonished me for quite a while that a lot of people, not just on the right, people sort of in the middle, have been saying for a very long time now it was a nothing burger. I think it makes them feel like I was a smart one who said that.
How deep does this rabbit hole go? If you're curious or just love watching the political class squirm, hit subscribe. It's your all-access pass to every twist, turn, and jaw drop in the headlines. Trust me, smashing that button keeps us digging, keeps me talking, and keeps the truth alive. Now. let's dive headfirst into the latest political maelstrom swirling around George Soros's Open Society Foundation, thanks to newly declassified emails from Senior Vice President Leonard Bernardo. We're peeking behind the curtain into what some say is a shadowy world where powerful organizations have their fingers in every pie. For many, OSF already symbolizes global influence on steroids. And these leaks are only adding fuel to the fire. Bernardo's emails hint at something explosive. A long-term game plan to keep certain leaders, namely Trump and Putin, cast as villains in the global theater. Sound familiar? The term Russian collusion comes rushing back, except this time, the story feels less like organic outrage and more like a meticulously choreographed production. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion, and each layer stings a little more. Wrestled with what was real and what was manufactured. And this time, the alleged web stretches even wider, pulling in the entire political spectrum. Bernardo's name isn't floating alone here. The leaks suggest discussions, maybe even agreements about tailoring narratives to shield allies and vilify opponents. The stuff conspiracy theorists salivate over is now dripping out. From sources that were supposed to be beyond suspicion, and looming over it all, the shadow of the Obama administration, casting old questions into a very current storm.
Being dragged into socialism. And a lot of you fail to realize that. But anyway, here comes Donald J. Trump, who was highly persecuted, who was lied on, and they attempt to erase him from the history books. Now he will go down in history as one of the greatest presidents that ever sat in that oval chair. Now, if you choose to stay in those mental slavery shackles, that's your fault, and you're about to be some of the poorest human beings on this continent. Because see, whenever the Democratic Party, and history has proven this, whenever the Democratic Party is the majority of our government, things tend to go this, okay? Thought I'd let you know that little bit of history. And by the way, thank you to some of my brothers of all skin tone who enlightened me of a lot of great things that black men and women are responsible for in making this country great. Thank you very much. When I posted last night about the Tuskegee Airmen, some of you came forth with some more history that we never heard about. And guess who heard that history from us? Them damn Democrats did, because they understood to control their lives, we got to control their minds. And if I control their minds, we control their life.
These connections don't just deepen the controversy, they widen it, sketching out an even bigger picture of political scheming. And let's be honest, none of this screams transparency or fair play. The debate isn't just about whether these explosive claims are true. It's about the pattern they reveal, every move that feels orchestrated, every motive that cuts both ways. Take James Comey, the former FBI director who turned Hillary Clinton's email probe into a political roller coaster, is now allegedly caught up in this fresh storm. His calls or calculated silences were already controversial back then. Now, these revelations suggest he may have been playing a part in a bigger script, one allegedly supported by certain figures inside Soros's Open Society Foundation. It makes you wonder, was the justice system ever truly blind, or was it wearing a lens that filtered out inconvenient truths? Beneath it all lies a growing rot, a public trust in political and judicial institutions that's eroding fast. If even a fraction of these whispers prove true, it's no surprise people are starting to see the justice system less as a guardian of truth and more as a stage for power's favorite actors.
President just accused a former president of treason. Now, do people realize how serious an allegation this is? And for me, didn't the Supreme Court, under the guidance of this president, say that presidents have immunity?
How good the dad
is. He can't be everything.
He can't be everything. And that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor.
This cuts right to the heart of the matter. What good is a system that repeatedly fails to deliver real accountability? Among the newly surfaced leaks are more emails pointing to key players tied to Soros's Open Society Foundation allegedly pulling strings behind the scenes, even using major media outlets to shape and sustain carefully crafted narratives. The Clinton campaign, according to these allegations, wasn't just running its own playbook, it was supposedly backed by talking points designed to reinforce the Russian collusion storyline, then pushed into the press like clockwork. It's enough to make you think twice, or 3 times, about which news you can actually trust. In the grand chess game of politics, Soros and company appear to have had no shortage of pawns and actors ready to move. But the bigger casualty here isn't just reputations, it's public faith in the justice system itself. When the perception takes hold that laws are enforced based on who you are or who you know, the very fabric of democracy starts to unravel. Because if power can weave its way out of accountability, what chance does the average citizen have? The real challenge: proving these manipulations beyond a shadow of a doubt. Accusations and leaks can ignite outrage, but finding evidence that convinces everyone is rare. Part of the frustration comes from the lack of visible consequences for anyone allegedly involved in spinning narratives or bending facts. Take Tulsi Gabbard, for example. She flat out accused the Obama administration of weaponizing intelligence in an attempted coup against Trump, a charge that's no small matter. By any reasonable standard, such claims deserve a serious investigation. Yet for many, calling out these actions has become less about justice and more about fueling endless political brawls with no real resolution. And that's where the public sits, caught between criticism, anger, disbelief, and exhaustion. Politics today feels more like a never-ending soap opera than the serious governance it's supposed to be. Still, despite the fatigue, the dialogue has to stay alive. We have to keep questioning, keep pressing, and keep demanding a system that values accountability and truth over power and spin. So, where do you land in all of this? Did something in this tangled web of intrigue stand out to you? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because the more we discuss it, the closer we get to uncovering what's really going on. Your voice matters, and together, we might just peel back a few more layers of this story.